Hi everyone, my name is Jordi Serrat and I'm doing this video to inform as many people as possible about the airline industry, it's the same as the flight industry, with an economic point of view. The main purpose of the video is that all the people that is watching gain knowledge about this industry, but also about what economy is and what economy supposed to our lives. The main points that I will be talking to in this video are the size of this market, the demand and how it changes, which factors affect the demand, the supply, the elasticity, if the price is elastic, inelastic or unit elastic, and finally, what COVID-19 has caused to this market.
First of all, I'm going to be talking about the market I chose. Why it's important the transportation to Spain? Basically, because it has a major contribution in the Spanish economy, providing more than 1.5 million jobs. The flight industry is considered as an oligopoly, where a few big companies, such as Ryanair and Air Europe, dominate the market. The companies are able to set the prices and the quantity of the service they offer. The problem about this industry is that it's really inconsistent, because it's very sensitive about all the economic and political changes. This type of market doesn't consist in selling any products, as all the companies offer a service. This service is the transportation of people. In this video, I will be only focusing the companies that cover Spain as a country. The main ones are Vueling, Ryanair, Air Europe, Iberia Express and Iberia. Besides these 5 companies, there is 147 more operating in Spain, in which 15 of them are completely Spanish. Talking about the market size, Spain's domestic market has approximately 52 million seats, the highest capacity in Europe. It's situated 10 million seats ahead from Italy, 15 ahead from Germany, and 19 ahead from France. In 2019, the number of passengers that traveled in the Spanish domestic market was above 275 million people. These stats are offered by AENA, a public company that manages the main airports in Spain. The total revenue generated in 2019 by companies operating in the Spain market was more than 8,500 million euros. Globally, the revenue of all the commercial airlines combined was around $838 billion. Observing the data from the graph, we can see that after 2019, the total revenue decreases in a very low levels because of the virus, but after 3 years, we can see that the level will be even higher than it's now, which means that by that time, the airline industry will be fully recovered about the pandemic. Because of the different prices between all the companies and all the factors that are involved, it's very difficult to determine from where all the money came from, as all the prices are completely different between them.
Now I'm going to be talking about the demand. First of all, the demand is basically the relationship between the quantity demanded of a particular product and its price. This relationship is expressed as a curve. Demand can change within a lot of factors. In this type of industry, some of the factors are economic difficulties, crises that affect families, changes in prices of the tickets. If the prices are very high, the passengers will decrease. Changes in income is related with the money earned working. When people earn less money, there is less possibilities that they travel by flight. Political restrictions, like the ones created by Brexit. Substitutive products, like the increase of railways. Seasons, as you can see in the image shown, there is more passengers in summer than in winter. One of the reasons, apart from the better weather, is that a lot of families have vacations that want to spend abroad. Pandemics, we will talk about it later on, and others. Talking about the demand, it's very important for the companies to know which are the consumers of this industry. The consumers are basically people that need to travel occasionally to other places that can be in the same or in another country. It is true that there's also people that travel every week, but the highest percentage is from people that travel for holidays. Depending on which preferences and commodities they want, they can choose some airlines or others. If they want to travel as cheap as possible with a poor service, they can choose low-cost companies such as Ryanair or Vueling. If they want to have an excellent service and very comfortable seats, they can choose Singapore Airlines or Emirates Airways, between many others. Another topic that I will be referring to in this video is the supply. In the economic terms, supply is the relationship between the price of a specific good and the quantity supplied of this good. Demand was expressed as a curve, but supply is expressed as a table. Here we have an example of a supply schedule. In the flight industry, the supply market consists in only two companies, Boeing and Airbus. The market structure of the suppliers is pretty similar to an oligopoly, as there's only two firms in the market and a large number of buyers. As this happens, airlines have no control of the prices because are set earlier by these two companies. So the prices of the planes are the same for all the companies. This has some advantages and some disadvantages. One advantage is that the successful companies don't have a superiority with the minor ones in terms of prices. On the other hand, companies less successful can have more problems when it comes to buying planes, and they end having less planes than companies that can afford buying more. One question that needs to be asked is, which factors can have an influence in the supply? Well, there are some factors. I will talk about the most common ones. First of all, the price. Unlike demand, there is a direct relationship between the supply and the price of a product. If the price of a specific product increases, the supply also does. Secondly, the cost of production. If the price of the materials to make the planes rise, the cost of production would increase, making the supply decrease. This increase of the cost of production can be caused by tax rates, transport costs, and many other factors. Another important factor is the technology. Having an advanced level of technology can increase the production of a product, increasing also the supply. Another factor that can also affect the supply is the prices of related goods. In the case of the airlines, if the price of substitutive goods as the trains increased, more money would be destined to trains. Then there would be less supply of planes.
Elasticity. In economics, the degree to which individuals and consumers change their demand or the amount supplied in response to price or income changes is called elasticity. It is measured in order to know if the price of a good is elastic, inelastic, or unit elastic. In the case of the flight market, the demand in the market is price elastic because, doing this example, the result is greater than 1. That means that, in this industry, a change in the price can change the quantity demanded of the service. On the one hand, the three main factors that determine the elasticity of the supply in this market are innovations in technology, the level of the prices, and the number of competitors. On the other hand, the two main factors that determine the elasticity of demand in this market are the prices, because the flight industry is very sensitive, and the income. As you can see in the image shown, in 2008, Spain suffered a major recession because of the crisis related with the construction. The image shows the demand at the major airports in Spain during that years, and it's pretty clear that during that time, when the income decreased, the demand of the flights also decreased.
The last topic I will be talking to is the impact that COVID-19 has caused in this industry. In the following images, you will be seeing the decrease in demand of airlines, the losses of some of the major companies, and the decrease of revenue of some of them. Also, the increase of unemployment. The pandemic has affected all the areas, but the airline industry is one of the most affected ones. The reason is simple. People from all over the world were ruled to do a quarantine, which led to having all the airports completely empty. Airlines had to lay off their employees. A lot of people canceled their flights, causing also more problems to the companies. The result of all of that is that a lot of airlines declared in bankruptcy, and the other ones had losses over many millions of euros. According to some studies, this pandemic has caused the worst aviation crisis in the history.